Have you ever been handed a boarding pass, walked up to the gate, and been told the flight is full? Have you ever wondered how an airline actually chooses who gets left behind, and whether it is random at all? And do you know what they legally owe you the moment it happens? Stay, because none of this is luck. It is a number, and the number is you. The flight is oversold. A voice asks politely if anyone will give up their seat. Nobody moves, so the offers begin. A voucher, a bigger voucher, a hotel for the night, and behind that friendly voice a decision has already been made. If not enough people volunteer, the airline will choose, and it already knows who. Because there is a list. Every passenger on that plane has a rank on it. You have a rank on it, and your rank was decided long before you reached the airport. Most people think getting bumped is bad luck, a coin flip, the person who checked in last or stood in the wrong line. It is not. The airline sorts every passenger into a precise order using rules it wrote down years ago. And the person at the bottom is almost never the unlucky one. It is the cheapest one. Start with why the plane is oversold at all. On a typical flight, about 1 in 10 people who buy a ticket simply never show up. 10 seats out of 100, flying empty, earning nothing. So the airline does cold math. If 1 in 10 vanishes, then selling exactly 100 tickets for 100 seats means flying, on average, with empty rows, so they sell more. 105, 110. They are betting, with real precision, that enough people will not come. And that bet is worth a fortune. A single seat sold twice because the first buyer never appeared is almost pure profit. Multiply it across every flight, every day, every year, and overbooking quietly earns airlines billions. It is not a glitch in the system. It is the system. Most days, the no-shows cancel out the extra tickets, and the plane leaves full and paid for. But some days, everyone comes. 104 people for 100 seats. The bet has failed, and 4 of them are not getting on. Now, a government rule takes over. In the United States, it is called Part 250. And its first demand is simple. Before an airline can force anyone off, it has to ask. It has to offer money to volunteers first. And usually, asking works. Across a whole year, fewer than 1 in 100 passengers is ever denied a seat, and almost all of them raise their hand for it. The ones forced off against their will are around 2 in every 10,000. Rare. But rare is not the same as random. Because when nobody volunteers, the airline stops asking and starts choosing. And it has to publish, in writing, the exact order it will use. It is buried in the fine print you accepted the moment you clicked buy. 3 things decide where you land on it. The first is what you paid. The cheapest, deepest discount ticket sits at the very bottom. Full fare sits higher and safer. The second is status. Fly this airline again and again, and you are lifted toward the top and made almost untouchable. The third is time. The last passenger to check in is very often the first to be pulled off. Put the 3 together and a face appears. The cheapest ticket, no status, checked in last, not the unlucky passenger, the cheapest one. Watch it run. 100 seats, 104 passengers. The system ranks every one of them by a single cold question, asked over and over. Who is the least expensive to lose? The elite lock in at the top. Full fare settles in above the line. And at the very bottom, 4 turn red, numbers 101 through 104. The doors close in front of them. Why the cheapest every single time? Because bumping is not about fairness. It is a revenue decision, like every other decision on that aircraft. The passenger who paid $90 is, to the airline, the least valuable person on board. Losing them costs the least. On a spreadsheet, they are the obvious answer. The elite flyer is the opposite. That passenger might spend $20,000 a year with this airline. Bump them once, and they carry all of it to a competitor tomorrow. So the airline shields them, not out of gratitude, out of arithmetic. And that is the quiet truth hiding inside every loyalty program. The status you chased all those miles, the little metal card in your wallet, was never really a reward for flying. It is insurance. What you actually bought, one trip at a time, was a place near the top of the list, a promise that when the plane is too full, someone cheaper gets chosen instead of you. Here is what almost nobody knows. If they bump you and get you to your destination 1 to 2 hours late, that same rule, Part 250, says they owe you 200% of your one-way fare, up to $1,075. Land more than 2 hours late and it doubles, 400% of your fare, up to $2,150, in cash that same day, not a voucher, real money handed to you on the spot. But at the gate, in the noise and the hurry, they will offer a travel voucher first, a number that sounds generous and costs them almost nothing to print, and most passengers, never having read the rule, take it and walk away. The gap between what you are offered and what you are owed is the entire game. It is the same cold logic that in 2017 dragged a paying passenger down the aisle of a United flight because the system had selected him and he refused to go. The rules were followed. The list did its job perfectly, and the world finally saw what a spreadsheet looks like when it meets a human being who says no. So the next time that voice asks for volunteers, you will hear it differently. You will know there is a list. You will know roughly where you sit on it, by what you paid, by your status, by how early you checked in. And you will know that the first offer is the opening move in a negotiation, not a gift. The gate was never random. It is a ranking, and now you can read it. Every part of your flight works like this: a rule someone wrote, a number someone chose, an order of priority nobody ever explained to you at the counter. Subscribe, and the next invisible system of air travel gets taken apart the same way before it quietly decides something about you.